Right, here's Jester, and this is at his place. Gosh, I tried to find 3 untouched horses and found Jester, Joker, and Jotaro. So I've got all sorts of bits of video going Jay doing such and such. Anyway, as you can see, this round pen is completely and utterly unsuitable. I did want to start with some outside turns with this horse because he was a little bit rude, and I'd been told that he'd been quite aggressive by the owners. Unfortunately, in this round pen, doing outside turns is quite dangerous because, you know, he obviously would be very easy to push over if I put him under too much pressure. So I had to be quite careful. And he did sort of consider it once. I think he gave it a bit of a thought. And as soon as he did that, I just moved to inside. So here, you know, that was a bit of a kick at the photographer. And so I moved quite quickly to inside turns. That particular turn I didn't ask for, so I turned him outside again. The outside turns are really good for a horse that, you know, does show signs that he might be a little rude. Right there, I think he's considering going over there, so it was then that I started to move to inside turns. I probably won't do any outside turns for the way of the horse because it's most unlikely that I'm going to have an issue like that. I think the horse is probably going to be scared already, and I really don't want to scare it anymore, so I think trying to get it to come in and face me is a much better plan. So in a moment I'm going to move Jester on to inside turns. Now he's just got used to doing outside turns, so at first he's going to think I'm asking him for outside turns again, and he's going to make that mistake and turn outside. There I've got him looking at me, that's a good start. There he is, he thinks, oh, I know this, I'll go outside. So I've got to turn him back going the other direction because he made the mistake when he was travelling around to the left. So I want to ask him again from the left. There's made a mistake, turn him back. So he's travelling left again. Then I'm going to ask him again. I'm going to wait till he starts to trot. It was a very hot day this day that I was at Jester's, and the last thing I want to do is tire the horse out running him around the pen. I want him to think, and as soon as he's tired, he's stopped thinking. So my most important job in this part in the first session is going to be to conserve the horse's energy and engage his brain. That's what I want to do. What I don't want is a tired horse. It's easy to make a tired horse. I can run him around till he's exhausted and he's going to come and stand with me in the middle because, you know, what else would you do? But that's not what I'm interested in. What I'm interested in doing, especially in this first session, is engaging his brain, getting him to think. Each time Jester makes that mistake, he has to turn back the other way. So hopefully he's thinking, oh, what did I do wrong? And he's got to start thinking, where is it that I can move my feet where I get a release? Turn him back the other way. My cues for the inside and outside turns are very different, and the horses quite quickly learn to look at my feet. For the inside turn, I step across in front of him. Right there, he's looking at me, and so I'm just going to let him relax there for a minute. Usually if I can get their eyes, get their head to move, their feet will follow. And you'll see quite quickly that he settles down. As soon as he gets the idea of these inside turns, he settles down quite a lot. There, that was good. That was a bit thinking about it there. Good. There, he didn't turn all the way back the other direction. I need to focus more on his hindquarters to get him moved forward. There, I've got his head. Right there, and that was really good. And that was nice, and he is starting to settle. He's more polite as he goes past, which is always nice. That's good. Jest is a fairly typical horse that I get called out for quite a lot. I quite often get called out for 4 and 5-year-old stallions that have never been touched, and they need to get them halter broken so they can get them gelded. So it's not unusual at all. This round pen actually wasn't as bad as some of the things I've had to work in, but I've just had myself built a loading ramp so that horses can come to me more easily and be unloaded straight into the round pen. Now this is Joker, back from Tumut, and he's had an outside and inside turn lesson, so we're just brushing up on the inside turns, and I'm going to start come to me with him, which is, you know, a lesson that I probably won't do in the way of the horse. I won't have time to do that, but it is a sort of natural progression of where I go from the inside turns. Come to me is half an inside turn right there, and then I'll go up to him and pat him and get him to turn and face me, and quite quickly you can work that to come to me in the middle of the round pen. This exercise, the turn and face me, is a useful sacking out exercise, which I will of course be doing in the way of the horse competition. Unfortunately, in recent years, the round pen as a training tool has got itself a very bad reputation. I think this is partly due to some of the road to the horse demonstrations that have been done in the States, and just generally sort of people chasing horses around round pens, you know, is an awful thing to do. What I would like to show in my way of the horse demonstration is that used properly, the round pen, you know, is a wonderful training tool, but it does have to be used properly. Here Harry is showing how I teach flying changes, and the round pen is a fabulous place to teach flying changes. I am also going to put in an application to be an educator at Equitana 2012, and one of the things that I would very much like to do is to do an educational session on using the round pen and flying changes, inside outside turns, haunch turns and things like that.